And a good Friday midday to you, Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights. This weather video is driven by 802cars.com. It represents 802 Toyota, Twin City Subaru, and 802 Honda. They're all located off of Exit 7 on Interstate 89. This is a 500 hectopascal look. Thicknesses. This is our upper level low pressure system. A lot of winds are zooming in on the southern side of this, a lot of jet stream energy. But our winds coming in out of the southeast have now shifted into Canada, and these slightly stronger winds than what we're seeing here have now moved out, and it should be no longer a factor. However, we will see some winds approach our thresholds, especially gusting in the summits of the Green Mountains and immediately eastern side of the Greens, and most notoriously, usually that affects Windsor and Windham counties the best. However, it does look like these are going to be just a little bit below thresholds, but something we're going to have to monitor for this Friday afternoon. Now, on Saturday, we're going to be in this area here as the area of low pressure will have drifted off to the east, and we're going to see a little bit of a northwest flare-up during Saturday afternoon. However, right now it looks like these will be below thresholds as well. Let's take a look at the latest computer modeling and indications of what's going to happen going into next week. Okay, looking at the 3-hour increments of the European model, this is valid 2 o'clock this afternoon. On this Friday afternoon, got all rain after a little smidge of mixed precipitation that's long moved out. This will be coming to an end late today. We're going to see again those winds along the backside of this area of low pressure. So the pressure gradients are going to be fairly tight. And again, it may interfere and produce a little bit of downsloping along our eastern slopes of the Green Mountains across Windsor and Windham County, but we're not looking at very much. This system then pushes on out. High pressure builds in for what should be 3 days of fairly dry weather. This latest system here looks like it's going to zoom off to the east of us and really not be a factor as high pressure builds in. This is a pretty strong area of higher pressure. It is associated with some colder air that's been across Canada, and a lot of that cold air is going to drop into the western part of the United States, and that's been the case for most recently. But this 1041 hectopascal area of higher pressure will continue to push across the region. This will allow for 3 pretty decent days, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And this will continue, it looks like, with the next weather system brewing, a little bit of jet stream disturbance here, as well as this frontal boundary that kind of gets together and area of low pressure tracks across Quebec and swings in a cold front. So a little bit of mixture of a little bit of wet snow and a little bit of rain mixing in. This is valid on, looks like here, this is about 8 o'clock on Tuesday evening. So that system then pulls away, a couple lake effect strands, and then high pressure builds in for what should be a pretty decent Wednesday with a lot of sunshine and decent amounts of solar energy. So a little bit later in the period beyond it, we have that area of higher pressure again on Wednesday. It looks like it's going to last into 12Z Thursday, and then that area of higher pressure pushes away. We're getting into some increasing high clouds, mid-level clouds, and then lowering. And then we're going to see our next weather system affect us, it looks like on Friday. It looks like a little bit of snow and probably a change over to rain. And then we have another weather system here as more potent jet streams begin to push into the region. And this is also some high P-watts. This is valid on late Friday and into Saturday. This is a fairly juiced up weather system for better chances for possibly some moderate to even maybe locally heavy precipitation associated with that. It looks like it moves on out. The back end basically has some snow. So that's how next weekend, at least the start of next week, is setting up. Eventually, we get another area, big area, broad area of higher pressure that will be sprawling across the region. This is valid on Sunday of next weekend. Okay, this is the GFS ensemble centered on Montpelier, Vermont. So this is our precipitation we're going to see today. And then things kind of dry out. Just a little smidgen of snow works off mainly across the northern tier regions. We're talking about flurries here. And then a fairly decent stretch of for the next 3 days before Tuesday. And then a little bit more gibberish. So the total amounts of QPF look like this. We're not looking at very much, as a matter of fact. You can see that we're only talking about 4/10 of an inch. Maybe another 2/10 of an inch on top of that, 6/10 of an inch. So this is a relatively dry period overall. At the Weather Prediction Center, folks are indicating about a 1/2 inch generally, maybe up to about 1 inch amounts with these blue areas. So a little bit east, a little bit to the west of us, but no major shakes. And a quick look at the 2 meter temperatures here. So coldest period here will be over this weekend and early next week, and then a little bit of a warm-up, a little bit of a drop. Some minor oscillations in there, but not a whole lot. In terms of dew point temperatures, this is the way it's looking. Nothing to worry about getting above 50 to produce any kind of thunderstorms. And then in terms of precipitation type, it's kind of all over the place. Of course, we have rain with this system. There's a little bit of flurries that come in overnight tonight and tomorrow morning. Then we have a little bit of snow on the front end, some rain on the backside, and you can see the differences there. Thing to look at here is our current warm-up. And then we have colder air that's worked in and dropped in from Alaska. This is going to be spreading across all of Canada and into the United States, just about coast to coast. So for the next 5 days, the meteorological output statistics, or MOS, shows us running about 3 degrees below normal. But then things are going to warm up again, as I mentioned, late in the week. We're looking at much warmer conditions, and there it is. Look at that. That comes in, looks like it brews out of Mexico and then moves from southwest to northeast. This is also where some heavier precipitation, some PWATs will be pretty strong, working their way toward us, and that's going to happen again late next week and into next weekend. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.